Okay, so let me get started. So welcome to Ace Creative Academy. One of the vision in which we're doing to have the training that we're having right now today is to bring in members of the community so we can all learn from each other. Now, Mr. Olamiji Bello is the founder of RealBell Graphics, and a lot of us have been seeing some of his works, and his work has been inspiring us. So we believe that instead of us bringing external people from outside the community that we've been doing for a while right now, we believe that it will be good for us to bring in people from the community that would inspire us and educate us, people that we've seen a lot of their works. So the next person could be you, the next person could be Emmanuel, the next person could be Mr. Israel. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? So once you put your works out there and we're saying that your work is very, very inspiring, we're going to be bringing you on board for you to teach and educate. We're still going to be bringing in external instructors to come and train us. But irrespective of bringing external instructors, we also want to spotlight some members of the community that are just like us, that we can see what you're doing and ask them questions on how they are doing it. So after this session, we're going to have a Q&A session where you get to ask him and myself any question you want to ask concerning the creative industry. Are you get to right now concerning what is going on in the global in the globe right now, and we are going to answer you. Are you get to right now? So Mr. Bello, are you up on board? I'm handing over to you shortly. So we're not going to take too much of your time and your data. So I'll just get Mr. Bello to I'll hand over the training to him right away so we can get started. All right. Mr. Bello. Mr. Bello?
Yes, sir.
All right, are you on board?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. All right, okay, so I'm handing over the... All right, so thank you so much for heading to our call. Your screen, your camera is not on. Your camera is not on, sir. Your camera is not on. All right, okay, fantastic. Oh, so I think I'm spotlighting the wrong... Okay, so let me on Spotlight. I think you're logging on with 2 devices, right?
Yes.
All right, okay, no problem.
Yes, sir.
All right, so what I'll just basically do right now is that I'll try as much as possible to get rid of the spotlight of your next device. All right. Okay, spotlight. All right, okay, beautiful. So thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you for heading to our call right now. So I'm going to be leaving the floor for Mr. Bello. Please get your questions ready. Drop your questions in the chat as he's going on. And this session is definitely going to be recorded, and we are going to be dropping it on the group, basically. So thank you so much, and have a beautiful time in his session. Mr. Bello, I'm going to be allowing you to share your screen right now, then we'll take it up from there. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. For those that doesn't know me, my name is Bello Olamiji, a creative designer with 4 years experience and also a freelance graphic designer. Actually, in graphic design, I major into what's it called? Social media design mostly, because that's where I find my strength in, and that's why I join doing most. Doing beauty manipulations and so many things. So today I'll be sharing with you a little of my experience, what I've gathered for so long in graphic design, and I'll be doing what's it called a travel agency design that was given to me last year by a client. But actually, me posting the design online, it's created so many awareness about me, and people want me to try and work on the design again. So I'll be doing it here today. So I want you guys to follow me. Actually, I'm not a pro like Mr. Ademola said, but I'm trying, and God is helping. So I would love you. I'll be sharing my screen now, so you guys can follow with me. And please, if you have any question for me, you can drop. Thank you very much. So I'll be sharing my screen now, and I'll be using Photoshop to design, and I'll be mixing it with CorelDRAW also, because due to my system, I might be having issues with them. So I'll be merging my text in CorelDRAW. For those that doesn't know how to use CorelDRAW, I'm very, very sorry. I'm so sorry. So I hope you can all see my screen. Can you all see my screen? Please, if you can see my screen, please let me see in the chat session, please.
Okay, so it's taking time to come up, so we're waiting for it to come up. It's saying Ola Bello has started sharing his screen, but it has not popped up yet. All right, so your screen is up.
Okay. Now, if you can see, I've opened the what's it called, the Photoshop interface. I'll just explain little. Actually, I can't find the brief. If I was with the brief, I would have explained more. But actually, the clients told me to work on what's it called, a travel design that has to do with living in New Zealand. So going online, I can gather all these. This is a city in New Zealand. Actually, my concept of this concept was derived from what's it called, Pinterest. I gathered the idea from Pinterest, so I decided to use the idea in refining this. So I'll be placing. Even let me show you the end result first, because I've worked on it before. This is it. I hope you can all see it.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So for me to be more faster, actually I've cropped everything out. So what I'll just do now is to place everything and explain what needed to be done. So for now, I'll be opening a new interface, a new page in Photoshop. Then 1080 by 1080 pixels, and the resolution is what's it called, 100 dpi. So I'll be using my second artboard to explain. So first thing for, I'm going to create what's it called, a background. Okay. This is the color I'll be using. It's sky blue. Then the first thing to do here is to place my ground. This was gotten from Shutterstock. Hello, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can, sir.
Okay, I'm really sorry. My Zoom stopped. So now the image is being placed. But before starting anything, I need to create what's it called? A guide, so that I won't go out of line. So what I use for my guide is what's it called? 50 pixels by 50 pixels. So in order not to use all the space for my design, I think this is small.
Yes.
So the next thing I'll be doing is to create what's it called, a shadow under my ground so that it will look a bit realistic. But what I'll be doing here is that the shadow at the ground will be floating, so the shadow won't be that closer to what's it called, my ground. So I'll be creating a shadow using my brush tool.
Okay. Lord, church.
I think it's okay like this. So now the next thing to do now is to place my the city. This is to place it on my ground. I think I have it here now. Oh, sorry, it's on there. So this is it. Actually, what I do now is to reduce the opacity of the city so that I can view how the placement will be. So reduce to 30%, then try and adjust it in order to get it perfectly on how to place on the ground. I think it's okay like this. So I'm going to increase back the opacity. I hope you can all see it. So now, basically, I can't leave it like this. So what I need to do now is to create what's it called, a sky effect, so that it can look like my city is floating in the sky. So now the first thing is to do is to make another brush effect, which will be behind the city. So I'll be creating a bright effect at the back, like more like a gradient at the back. And I'll be picking the color from my background color. Then I'm going to change the blending mode to screen. And I'm going to dodge it like twice. I'll have to reduce the opacity a bit, then dodge it again, or brother. I'll be picking the color from my background color. Then I'm going to change the blending mode to screen. Then now is to create another effect again, more brighter. So I'll be changing the color to a brighter blue color. I think it's loading. So the blend mode also will be in screen. Other thing to do again is to create what's it called the sun. In reality, the sun can't. When the sun shines, it's always what's it called. It shows around the body of the surface which it shows on. So, which means my sun will be above, but let's say in front of my city. So I'll be creating a layer up here. I'll be using orange like yellow. Okay, maroon. Yeah, I think this is okay. So I'm going to reduce the opacity a bit. Up. So now it's be like this, but I'll be changing the blender mode to overlay. So you can see also create another layer, the layer yellow again. I'm going to increase the opacity a bit. It's too much. Okay, I think it's okay. So I'm going to give this color dodge, then take it up a little bit. Then in between the two layers, I'm going to make another layer which will be more brighter than this, which means I'm going to increase the opacity, and the yellow will be a little bit more lighter than the one I had before. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to make it screen. I'm going to take it up. Okay. I'm going to take it up. So So what I'm going to do here now is to bring in my cloud, because I want it to look as if it's floating. So I'll be duplicating that. I'm going to bring it to the other side. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to bring it down a little bit to this stage. Let it go down. So the next thing to do now, since I have it already out, there's no how I can have the cloud and I won't have what's it called, in order to create more realistic effect. So I'll be putting a bird, flying bird, just to show that, okay, this is a sky and there's a city floating on the sky, in the sky, sorry. So I'll be placing my bird. Should be a bit smaller. Coming from the side. Let me place it a little bit lower. So what I'm going to do is to create a mask layer, then erase some bed out. I'm going to erase this. Increase opacity. So I'll be duplicating it once more, the bed. I'm going to drag it here. Sorry for that. Dragging it here, making it more higher, then turn it over, bring it out more. Then I'll need to bring back the ones I erased. That was why I used marks, so that I can get them back. So I'll be using what's it called? My brush tool with color white to bring them back. Sorry. Let me erase it here. Looking for a perfect place to place my bed. Then this is further, so I'll reduce it a bit. But this is more, a little bit closer. So now, since I'm working for a travel agency, this doesn't really speak about them if there's no what's it called, the means of transportation. So I'm putting in an aeroplane, a plane, to show the means at which you can get to New Zealand. Because if I'm doing this and there's no aeroplane there, it doesn't pass any message. This will just be showing you the land. So I'll be placing an aeroplane to show that, okay, this is the means at which you will use in getting to New Zealand. So I'm going to reduce it a bit once more. Now, if I'm to place my aeroplane like this, it doesn't look realistic because it's on the sky and you can't view if something's in the sky and some things are in the sky, you can't really view them very well. It will look a little bit fading. So what I'm going to do here is to make my aeroplane look a little bit faded as if you can't see it. So I'm going to reduce it. Then creating a masking tool. So use the opacity for the brush. I'll be masking some places out. Now it looks like the sun, what's it called, is touching the plane. Reduce. This shows better that the aeroplane is in the sky. So what I'm going to do next is to create what's it called, a darker effect here, just to show that, okay, this is the ground. So I'll be doing that, what's it called, creating a layer, picking from what's it called, I'm picking from my background, and I'll change the blender mode to what's it called, multiply, then decrease the saturation a bit to be more darker. And I'll place it once, 2, 3. So to increase it like this, it is too much. Then bring it, sorry for that, bring it down. I think I need to decrease my shadow a bit. Okay, I think it's okay like this. I hope you can see what I'm doing.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay, thank you. I just want to know if you're following me. Please, if you have questions, you can drop them. I will respond to them. I think I'm almost through. Now, actually, I can decide that, okay, I'm through with this, but I'm not really feeling the color because based on the color style I used, I used what's it called, complementary color. That was what I used. An orange feel, then sky blue. That was the color I used for this design. So in order to get that feel, I'll be using I can do it two ways. I can use my color lookup, or better still, I'm going to use my camera raw filter. So I'll be using my camera raw filter to explain better. So I'm going to match this. Let me see if I still have things to adjust. Okay, I think this need to go up a bit, then a bit lighter. My plane can be a bit big high bits. Let it go on. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to merge everything here. Sorry, I think I'll need to delete this file unless I'll be having issues. I'll need to delete this artboard. So I'm going to merge this. Then I'll put my files in a group. The next thing I'll do is to come to my camera raw, click on this, come to my camera raw. So now what I'll be using my camera raw is to enhance this, the brightness, and also to give it, how will I put it, like a good feel, let me say a good feel. I can't really remember the English anymore, so let me just stick to that. Permit me, please. So it's loading. Okay, we are there. So now what I'll be doing now is to first thing I do is to first increase the exposure. It will be a little bit brighter. Or what's it called? It's what's it called, the digital design. So if your digital design is too dark, it won't be really appealing to the eye. So I prefer my design look more brighter and sharper. So that was, and I almost all my design I use camera raw. So it makes my design pop more. So I increase this, then the contrast a bit. You see the difference. Then my highlight also, the shadow. Can you see my screen? Is the camera raw showing?
Yes, it is. We can see it now.
You can see it now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can see it. And just continue with what you're doing and your explanation.
So
Yes, yes, sir. We can see it now. Thank you.
sorry, can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay.
Yes, we can see it now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Start from the beginning again. Okay, so now I've increased what's it called, my exposure a bit. It's too bright. Okay, then my contrast also a bit, and the highlights. Decrease the shadow, the whites, then the black also. Now, these three, what's it called? These three lines, that they are the ones I use most to make my, what's it called, my image more sharper. I know most of you know them. So I'm going to increase the texture. Also the clarity a bit, because if I increase the clarity too much, the design will become more darker. So I'm going to leave it at this stage. I don't touch the haze because it looks more darker also. So let me try it so you can see. So you can see. So I do reduce it. Let me just give it, okay, this fill. Yeah. So since I'm done here with the basic, so I come down to what's it called? The calibration. Sincerely, I don't really know what is here, but whenever I work with it, it gives me what I want. So I'll be sincere enough. I don't really know what is here, but I work with it and it gives me what I want. So I told you before that I want, what's it called, a brighter field than a good field, more like orange field, just to complement my color style, which is a complementary color style. So what I'll be doing here, I'll be playing with this. Now you see, as I'm moving this, the color of my, what's it called, my line changes. You can see. Increase the saturation, then this, give it enough yellow, then increase the saturation, and enough blue. I take it back. This is what I want. And increase the saturation a bit. Now I can click OK. Now you can see that there's a big difference between what I started with and what I have now. I hope you can all see. So what I'm going to do here now, actually I said that I do have what's it called delay whenever I try using my text. This is because of my system. There's too much load. God will help me. So I'm going to take this down to my CorelDRAW. And for those that doesn't use CorelDRAW, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So I'll be taking this down to CorelDRAW. But before doing that, I will just need to explain this again for those that just come in. Actually, this is a design to portray how beautiful Switzerland is. That was why I was using, what's it called, this city in Switzerland, just to show you how big and beautiful Switzerland is. So I told you that I got this concept from Pinterest, whereby the cities floating. So I thought that, okay, let me also use this idea. Let me see what I can. Thank God. So what I did is, I think I stopped here. This was how I got my color scheme. So I said the color scheme I'm using for this design is complementary, and this was the major color. So then let me try and do that again. For those that are not using CorelDRAW, I'm sorry. So now I said to get your color style on CorelDRAW, you come to Windows, Docker, then color style, or Control F6. Then the first thing I'll do is to take my color, drag it down here. Okay, comes here. Then I'll pick my complementary. Then this is it. I click on it, brings down the color, then increase the opacity to what I want. Then I duplicate this down. Then I click on this twice. Then I have my color. So actually, I did this down already. So all I'll be doing here is to just use my guide again. For others, your guide might be bigger than this, but I think I prefer this. So I'm going to change this to white, and I'm going to remove the outline. Then make this a bit darker. I'm going to create a gradient fill with this. It has to follow this concept. Then I'm going to make this, then this a little bit lighter, then take it up. So I'm changing this to black. Or better still, what I did was to take color from the picture itself, then apply it on this. Yes. Sorry. Centralize this. Then still have one more thing to do. 2 years visiting visa. I'm going to reduce it. I don't want it to be thick. I have my what's it called? And I'll make sure it's centralized. Make sure this is also centralized. I'm using a dark background so that I can view it very well because of my eyes. That's it. Thanks for staying with me. I really appreciate. So this is your flyer. And also, if I want to export, majorly for me, I export with PNG. I really don't do JPEG. Because I understand that whenever I do PNG, it's a bit more sharper than JPEG when it comes to digital designs. So I use PNG in almost all my designs. So that I'll be exporting it now to PNG. Okay. Yeah, this does it. So thank you very much. Thank you so much. I think I'm through.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for this beautiful session. So I'm just going to be running through the Q&A session right away. I'll be asking some questions on the group, and I'll be asking some other personal questions. Then we'll round up this session. I promise I will not take your time for those that have been here.
Okay.
Please, if you want to ask him any personal question, you can raise up your hand, and I will ask you to unmute so you can ask him, or you can drop your question on the chat. Please, if you want to ask any question, you can raise up your hand. I will unmute you. Mr. Olamiji Bello, please can you turn on your camera so that people can see your face? The face of my instructor.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. So if you have any question, raise up your hand. I'll give you the floor. Or if you have any other generic questions, since I creative graphics is also here, you can also throw him. It's a privilege to have him on board. You can also throw questions to him. So the first question comes from Shady Wright. I was asking that earlier on. I get the concept. I just want to know if the city was a pre-cutout. Initially, I thought the city would cover up the green background. So did you get that, sir? Was the city that you used, was it a pre-cutout?
Okay, actually, no. Actually, for me to be more faster, I needed to cut it out before the class, so that it can be easy. Do you get that, sir?
Yes, we did, sir. All right, okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. All right, okay, so the next question that was here that someone asked basically is that, which was initially before the class, that's still Shady Right. He asked that, I'm confused with how you got the artboard. Please, I need clarification. Also, on like the usual Photoshop layer panel with adjustments and the likes, I can't see it on the screen. So I think your layer panel was looking a bit different from what he was used to. But it's asking that, how did you get artboard? So initially at the beginning of the design, there were two artboards. So it's asking that, how did you have the two artboard at the beginning of the design?
Yes. Okay, actually, I opened a new, the new page, then created one for, the exercise files, then another one for the design. Actually, I was trying to open a new page, but the system wasn't loading fast, so I needed to use the two artboards. So, okay, let me share my screen and show him how I got the artboards.
Yes, the two artboards side by side. So you noticed that earlier. Okay,
I'm going to share my screen to show him how I got my. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, your screen is loading, sir. Okay, we can see it now, sir.
Okay, now let me just open new. It load fast this time around. Okay, I think it's still loading. Yes. No. I was one that trimmed it out myself in order for the class to be a bit faster. So it actually, if I'm to instead of me trimming it in the design during the class, so I needed to cut it out already cut it out, then bringing it into the design. So now for the question of the artboard, this is my specification.
Hello, Mr. Bello. So I think we lost your screen again.
Okay, I'm coming, sir.
All right, no problem. So we apologize for some of the.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, it's still loading, sir. We're back up.
Okay, so this is my specification. This is what specification I used. 180 by 1080 by 1080. Then the resolution is 100 pixel per inch. Then my color mode is RGB. Then white. Then I created it. I think it's loading. Yeah, this is my board. It's ready. So now I need to create a new artboard to the side. So I'll just come to this icon here, artboard. Actually, I can put the size here, but what I do is to drag out. Then just click a plus, the plus sign here, click to it. Then I have my second artboard. The last of that. Hello, sir.
Oh yes. That answers that. Thank you so much, sir.
So this was how I got. This was how I got the two artboards.
All right, Mr. Shudu, I hope that answers your question, basically.
Okay, yes.
All right, okay, fantastic. So do anybody have any question, basically? If you have, you can just raise up your hand on the Zoom, and we'll just give you the floor to basically ask your question. Then, Mr. Bello, do you want to share any other thing with us, basically, that you want us to know?
Oh, I'm actually based on my design experience that people have been asking me often. That where do I get my inspiration from? And I think I've been sharing it for a long time now. Majorly, I do get my inspiration from Instagram, Pinterest, and Beyonce.
All right.
Because I said before the class that what I find myself doing is social media design. So that's what I love doing more. Not that I don't know others, but I love doing. Think those sites like Instagram, Pinterest, and what's it called? Beyonce gives me more concept on what to use on my designs. So that's where I get my design inspiration from more. For those that want to know.
All right. Okay, fantastic. Then on Instagram, what are the people that you follow? So that members of the community can also follow them. Oh, I can see someone clapping.
For a long time now. Eventually, I do get my inspiration from Instagram. I did not get, sir.
Yeah, who are the people that you follow on Instagram that give you all this inspiration?
Okay. Okay, on Instagram, right?
From the top of your head, the first
Okay,
five.
let me start mentioning.
Don't think too much.
Okay.
If you think too much,
The first,
you start
okay.
thinking too hard from the top of your head.
I love doing social media design. So I think those sites, like the first five. Okay. The first five: Caesar Graphics, Ringard.
Okay, let's all write that down. It's for you guys. Come on, guys.
On what to use on my designs. Caesar Graphics, Ringard, was Layer Connect. Next layers, and also I'm trying to think of this Ghanaian guy, Roshan Graphics. I think those are my top five.
All right, I can
Caesar
see
Graphics,
Caesar Graphics, okay.
Ringard, Layer Connect.
Continue, I'm with you.
And also, if I'm to mention, I have Lex Designs, Min Graphics, and so on.
All right, I can see Mr.
The
Shidi
Ringard is spelled R-O-E-N.
Okay.
Okay.
No, continue. Mr. Shady,
The
right
ring
once
guard
you
is
get
spelled
it.
R. The ring guard is spelled RENGHARD.
Okay, can you repeat that again?
RENGHARD.
All right.
That's ring guard.
All right. Okay, can someone put that on the chat, please? Let's put that on the chat. Then let's also put Caesar Graphics on the chat. Can we get someone to do that, please? All right, let's do that right away. Caesar Graphics too on the chat. So please, as we are mentioning all these names, I would recommend you just go on your phone and go on Instagram and add. As a graphic artist, you need to have inspirational focal points. It's very, very important. We are not an island of ideas. You need to always say things. You understand? You cannot. It's very difficult to design what you've not seen. All right. So, do you have any other advice you want to give us, sir? Before I ask you the last two questions, then we call it a day.
Okay. Oh, for those that are just coming up, designers like me, because I'm still coming up, because I'm not yet where I want to be. I'm still coming up. So I will implore you guys to keep on practicing. That's one thing, to keep on practicing. I remember when I started this 4 years ago, I wasn't good to this level at all. But I find myself doing it often. I find myself enjoying it. I find myself on screen almost every day. So I keep on practicing, even though when I don't have jobs. My all these jobs I posted on my Instagram, most of some jobs below, they are practice job. I just feel like, okay, let me do something. And I think there was a time I got what's it called? I started poster designs. When I saw Caesar doing posters, okay, then I started following Caesar to get more inspiration on how to do poster and give them more idea on about manipulation. So when I started doing that, following people that I know, example Rex poster also. So when I started doing that, I started getting more better day by day. And also thank God for working with what's it called? And also so associate yourself with people that know more better than you. And don't feel down when they correct you or tell you, okay, you have to do this better. Because I did my intern with Next Layers, Mr. Sampson, and he was able to put me through a lot of things that I don't even know. Because before, I don't think I understand what's it called, the business of design before. But it was the one that gave me more better idea on how to structure my works and how to let my clients enjoy my work better. So associate yourself with people that will give you more experience on what you don't know, and also find a niche. That's one thing to keep on practicing. But I find this an example is that when you start doing something, you can start doing everything. You might be good in everything, but as it goes, there will be a particular thing you are good at that you find yourself doing every time. Actually, I find myself doing social media design every time. So that was where I said, okay, see, nothing, I can't do anything anymore than this. So that was why I stick my idea to social media design. When you give me what's it called publications, I might do it, but it might not be to the extent I will do a social media every day. Yeah, practice job. I just feel like I'm doing posters. Okay, then I said so more better day by day, and also I'm really making money because it's important, sincerely. So practice, associate yourself with people that are better than you, and look at on this. Look at where you are good at most and on it. That's what I can say.
Fantastic. So we have one more question, though he has typed it on the group, but I think I want to give him the floor to be able to ask this question. Then I think we're going to end it here. The budget we had before was 2 hours, and I think we spent 1 hour 46 minutes, basically. So I'm just going to allow Mr. Victor to ask his question, basically. So Mr. Victor, I'm giving you the floor. Even though he has typed it, if we are finding a problem with his audio, then I'm going to read his type. So Mr. Victor, you can unmute your mic right now. Mr. Victor Olatimei, unmute your mic right now and ask him, Mr. Bello, your question, please. Mr. Victor, you have the floor. Mr. Victor, all right, you're unmuted. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. I sorry, I came in late. When I came in, I saw that he was already on CorelDRAW. He was working on CorelDRAW, and most of his work was on Photoshop. So my question is that why didn't he finish his work on Photoshop? Why? Because I thought he just added the text in CorelDRAW. So can you explain why he did that? Did you
I
get
think
my question?
the reason I okay, I do the reason why I
Did
do
you get
yes, I
my
got your
question?
question. Thank you. The reason why I do move my designs
Hello?
from the reason why I do move my yes, I got your question. Thank you.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Hear you.
So the reason why I do move my design from CorelDRAW and from Photoshop to CorelDRAW is that most times when I load my text on Photoshop, it takes time. It's a technical issue with my system. So I prefer taking it down to what's it called? CorelDRAW to work on it. CorelDRAW most times. And most times also, maybe because of the resolution I use.
Hello, Mr. Bello. Please, can you unmute? Sorry. Please, can you unmute, sir? We are not hearing you at the moment. Can you unmute
And
yourself?
most times also, can you hear me, sir?
We can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
We lost you for a while. Just repeat what you
Okay.
said in the last few seconds.
No, I said most times I have technical issues with my system, so I prefer taking it from Photoshop to CorelDRAW to have a better what's it called time to work with it. Or another way again is that the what's it called the quality of my text in Photoshop looks a bit dull, so I prefer taking it down to CorelDRAW to have a sharper view, because CorelDRAW is what's it called CorelDRAW is a vector software, while Photoshop is just a raster software, and it doesn't work with text very well. But most times when I want to do effects with text, I prefer using Photoshop. That's the reason why. It's more flexible for me like that. But for some people, they might prefer using using Photoshop from beginning to the end. I do it also, but most times I prefer from Photoshop to CorelDRAW or to Illustrator. That's it.
Okay, great. So that was a fantastic question. Thank you so much. So I think to add to him, usually, usually not all of us. Some graphic artists prefer using vector softwares, either Adobe Illustrator or CorelDRAW, to work on text, basically. Especially if you do more designs for print. You understand, right? Like we do more designs for print, not just digital. You'll be used more with using Illustrator or CorelDRAW. Why? Because it makes it easier for them to separate, do color separation for your design. So you can also do it in Photoshop. Sometimes you can also bring it to vector softwares like Illustrator or CorelDRAW. And texts are definitely always sharper on Illustrator and CorelDRAW, basically. All right. Okay. Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Bello, for that. So before Mr. Bello gives his final words, basically, I'm just running through all the text to see if we did not miss any questions. So I think we have all the questions here, basically. All right. So I'm just going to ask you one more question. Are you getting to answer right now? Then I'm now going to allow you to give your final word. Then we call it today. Okay. So for you, as like you said, okay, I'm going to ask you two questions. The first question is that your designs are always very, very crisp. I didn't get to answer right now. Always very, very crisp. You understand? How do you achieve it? Is it only the raw camera you used to achieve it? So that's my first question. Answer that first, then I'll allow you to, because I know a lot of people notice that on the group, on the community. Your designs are always very crispy. As when I mean crispy, like you can lick it. I'm just kidding. Like you can lick the design. So Shady said, it's always crispy.
Thank you, sir.
Lick it. All right. So how do you achieve that? Then I'll ask you the final question. I get out there. Then I'll allow you around.
Yeah, actually, not all the time I use. But what makes my design different or look more good is that I really don't work with too much colors. I really don't work with too much colors, and I really don't work with what's it called? Too much pictures in my design. If you check on my design often, the what's it called? The pictures are always either one that really pass the message. All I want to get in my design is the message. That's the main thing. So if I can have a particular image or a particular illustration that can depict the what's it called, the message in the design, I'm okay with it. And also the colors. So I try to work with either 2 or 3 colors that blends together. So sometimes when you see me using yellow, you said I will use red and blue. When you see me using blue, I will go with red and white. Something that will, and I also work with contrast in my design. I work with contrast almost every time. In text, in color, and in shape, I work with contrast so that it can blend better. So that's what, not that I'm doing something special or elaborate, but the main thing is that make my design simple as ever. That when you see it, you can understand the concept. You don't need to go too far.
All right, thank you so much. I can see Mr. Shady Wright taking a lot of notes. He looks as if he has a lot of scripts. He's just jotting. All right. Okay, so my final question is this, basically. This is my final, and I'm asking questions that I know are in the mind of people. What do you do when you want to clear your head, basically, in design? What do you do for inspiration? You see some people say, I watch football, I watch movies, I play video games. So personally, what do you do? I'm asking you out of the box question. Okay, I think my network is acting up. So what do you do to clear your head for inspiration, basically?
Okay.
Some people say they play video games, they watch football. Okay, I repeat again, what do you do for inspiration? Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Can you recap, sir? I did not get that.
All right, what do you do for inspiration?
Yes, I can now.
All right, what do you do for inspiration? Some people say they watch football, they watch movies. So what do you do just to expound your mind, personally? Some people say they watch CNN and all that.
Actually, to be sincere, I don't watch. I'm not a movie fan.
Okay.
I'm not a movie fan. What's it called? Whenever I feel like, okay, I really don't want to work. I really don't want to do anything. I want to relax. The only way you see me is on Instagram, sincerely. That's the only place you see me. I'm always with my phone. And if you see me on Instagram, I'm searching for more. If you are to go through my phone, you will see different designs from other designers on my phone.
All right, fantastic. So you guys, you can see.
So I don't really watch movies. All I just do.
Continue, sir. Sorry for cutting short. I thought you were done.
Okay. So majorly Instagram, try and download more pictures as I can and get inspiration as I can. So that's what I do if I'm not working. I'm always with my phone doing researches.
All right, thank you very much. So guys, I'm pulling out virtue from him right now. Think questions that you guys are not asking him. Are you getting me? So hope you guys are taking notes. You can see his trade secrets. He's always on Instagram, downloading people's work, getting inspired by people. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? He works, practice. And I've told him, and I've also made him to unveil to us people that he follows on Instagram. These are things that get graphic artists better, that gets everybody better. So please, let's ensure that you do that today. Follow the right people, download their works on your phone so that you can get more inspiration. So any final word for us, sir, before we close this session? But before I do that, before I give you a final word, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. This is a free session. It was something that we could have paid you for, so we appreciate that you are coming to the community to share with us insights on how you design. So any final word for us, sir, before we round off this session?
Okay, I really want to say thank you for the opportunity, because sincerely I've been hiding myself for so many times. I've been hiding myself, and I want to say a big thank you. And also I want you guys to please follow me, and people that want to link up with me, you can link up. I'm always open. I'm open. You can chat with me. I will respond sincerely. So, and you keep on saying the best of me. By God's grace, you keep on saying the best. You keep on saying the best. I also want to say thank you for the time, thank you for the opportunity, and God continue to bless you, sir. And
All right, so
thanks everybody for coming on.
All right, so please drop your Instagram handle on the chat. I'll also share your Instagram handle on the group so that people, as a lot of people can follow you. Please, you can always chat with him personally. He's open to chat with you. Then Caesar Graphics is also here too. I'll also drop Caesar Graphics chats. Caesar Graphics handle on the group too, so that we can all follow him. You can see that he said he gets a lot of inspiration from Caesar Graphics too. So please, I'm also going to drop those two handles on all our communities immediately after this session is over, guys. So Mr. Okay has dropped his handle. So Mr. RealBell Graphics, please, one more thing I will appeal to you is that we'll collect the design assets, not the Photoshop file, the design assets you use. If you can,
no problem, sir.
PNG them. I saw you already have a folder for it. Let's have it. Then also the final work. So the design assets and the final work. So tonight, sometimes tonight, I'm going to upload all the videos on a WeTransfer, and I'm going to drop it on all our community. Thank you so much. This video is going to be on our YouTube handle once we're done, and we'll take it up from there. I've learned so much, and we really appreciate it. So can we all just unmute our mic and just say a big thank you to him before we round up this session? Come on, let's unmute our mic.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We appreciate.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
All right. So thank you very much, everybody, once again for attending. We really appreciate you. Like I said, the vision of the community is for all of us to grow together. It's for all of us to grow together. So we're spotlighting some of the guys we are seeing doing wonderful things on the community to come and teach us one or two new things. So this year, we're going to be a lot more practical session where they will come and do one or two designs for us, and we will learn from them. Next month, we're going to be doing web design, where we're bringing Mr. Sampson to come and teach on how to use Elementor to design a website from scratch to finish. So we can also ask him questions too on that. Then we're also going to bring more professionals. I know Caesar Graphics is here. I'll try and see how I can pull him again. You understand? To come and take one or two sessions with us. So thank you so much, Mr. Bello. We really appreciate it. I learned so much. I know you also did. Please, I will drop his handle for everybody to follow him. He has a lot of beautiful works. I've seen his handle, and his works are very, very beautiful. So thank you so much for being part of the community. And I believe that 2021 is going to be very, very, very glorious for us. And we'll all grow like no other. And we're going to make impact not just locally, but globally. Thank you very much once again for attending Ace Creative Academy. See you at the top. Ciao.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.